continued to echo softly through the shelves, growing and fading like a distant memory. With trembling hands, she picked up the book and read the red ink note written under the map. "Do not enter after dark." It walks there. Her breathing grew ragged, heart pounding painfully against her ribs. She lifted her flashlight, and its flickering beam landed on a door ahead. A door that wasn't supposed to exist. It was the archive door, standing slightly ajar in the cold silence. From behind it came a faint rhythmic tapping, like long fingernails knocking slowly and deliberately on rotting wood. Each tap pulled her deeper into her old fear, her childhood terror flooding back with icy clarity. Curiosity and dread battled inside her as she took a trembling step forward, knuckles white around her shaking flashlight, wondering in horror what could possibly walk beyond that forbidden door. Hannah's heart thundered as she reached the archive door, her breath shallow in the icy air of the library aisle. The rhythmic tapping from behind the door echoing in her chest like a warning drumbeat. And with shaking fingers, she pushed the handle down, the old metal creaking as it opened into darkness thicker than night itself. The smell of rotting paper and damp earth flooding her senses as her flashlight flickered to life, revealing rows of rusted metal filing cabinets stretching into the shadows with no end in sight. Each cabinet labeled with names she didn't recognize in faded black ink. And as she stepped inside, the door shut behind her with a heavy thud that made her flinch and turn back, only to find smooth, featureless wall where the door had been. Panic surged through her veins as she spun around, her light catching glimpses of movement between the cabinets like dry paper scraped. Louder around her, speaking in a language that felt carved into her bones, filling her head with static pain. And just as she reached the glowing exit sign, her fingers brushed it only to feel cold metal beneath, the light flickering out to reveal a blank rusted cabinet surface. She turned in horror, realizing she was standing in front of her own name label on the cabinet drawer, the whispering voices merging into a deafening silence, broken only by the dry rustle of the paper-faced figure now right behind her. His hand touched her shoulder as a final whisper slid into her ear. "You belong to the forgotten now." Her scream echoed into nothingness, swallowed by the eternal silence of the library's secret archives, where books no longer remembered were kept along with their forgotten readers, never to return. And in the quiet old library above, the heavy book she had dropped closed itself slowly with a faint thud, leaving no trace of Hannah except her library card resting silently on the shelf.